Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the realistic multiplayer server here on the Oaks. We have skipped across October. You would have seen in the introduction videos we managed to get all the grass baled and loaded into the sheds, and we actually did really well out of it. I think our decision to plough those fields, get them properly limed and prepared and reseed them with new grass paid off for us. We ended up with 90 bales off our 2 fields, which is about, well, bang on 450,000 litres of silage to go with the 350,000 litres we already had. So 800,000 litres in total sitting in the shed, which is pretty impressive. Now we've actually managed to, well, we're going to sell some to Dazed. He is going to take some off our hands and go and use it in his digester and his BGA and get that converted into some digestate and things like that, which is good. Good way to make a bit more money off those. But we're also going to sell some and use that to buy some hay. But we've got lots of other plans. Firstly though, for this month, is to get the 2 grass fields fertilised. So we do have the spreader on the back of here with some fertiliser in it, hopefully enough, but I don't think it's going to be to get these all topped up. But we're going to get in here and have a look. I had hoped that the field that had the canola in, we could plough or get it subsoiled or cultivated and ready to go, and we would have been able to put some cover crop in there, put some radish in there for winter, but unfortunately we've missed that planting window now. Had to be done by the end of October, so we're just going to have to leave that field sit there fallow, and we'll get something planted in it in the new year once spring comes around. For now, we are just going to get in here, get this one spread with some fertiliser, and we might actually go and turn that field in, get some subsoiling done on it as well, and get that ready and set up. So that is the plan. Anyhow, we're going to get in here. We'll see how far we go with the fertiliser. Just jump out actually and have a quick look. You can see there the nitrogen's okay, 10 out of 65 kgs. I think it goes up to about 30 for grass. Can't remember what the actual optimum was for this, but we'll turn it on to auto and apply the fertiliser as we need it. So that is the plan. Jump in here, we'll get the spreading going. So we set up here on the edge of the field and get that turned on, and we will start moving. It's got such a good broadcast width on this, really impressive width. Now of course no GPS on this tractor, we've only got GPS on the bigger of the 2 Massies, so we're going to have to do this a little bit by eye. We do have the benefit of having the precision farming information down in the bottom corner, which can give us a little bit of a guide as to how close we are or are not to the edge of the fields. It does change the texture as well, so you can see there it is getting a little bit darker, although because the light conditions in November, the angle of the sun makes it just a little bit harder to see than some other times. It might look a bit easier when we turn around and go the other way down the field, but from our past experience doing this, it's not going to take us too long at all to get both fields done. Just watching the fertiliser go down, not sure if we are going to manage to get both fields done off this one tank. Unfortunately, might mean a bit of a trip up to the shop, go and grab another bag of fertiliser, or at least load up the spreader here with another bag. Anyhow, that's the plan. Let's carry on. We'll jump through this, put in a little bit of a time lapse and get these 2 fields done. So there we go, field done, or both fields done. We obviously went up to the shop and bought some more bags of fertiliser, so we've got a decent amount here now to take back to the yard and have it in storage for next time, which will be good. We'll be able to use that hopefully when we come to do some seeding in spring in the other fields. Still haven't decided what we're going to put up in there, but probably something like wheat, which requires, or will provide us with some straw, so we can use that with some TMR mix once we get our cows up and going, and that should work out pretty well, I think. Now the downside to that is we can't plant that with the weeder seeder that we've got at the moment. We're going to have to get a new seeder, but we do have a couple of options that we'll look at. We'll wait until spring rolls around and we actually need it. It's no point having it sitting in the shed or at the yard for now doing nothing. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyhow, let's head on back up to the yard. Going to get this all put away, then we're going to put the subsoiler onto the back of the other Massey and head on up and get that field ripped up. So that's us back here. We've got the tractor there parked up. I took the bag off the front and that is all good to go. Now we're going to go find our subsoiler. I actually don't know where it is. Thought it'd be in one of these sheds. Been quite obvious. Let's have a look around the corner here, see if it's in this shed or not. There it is. Right, let's get back down here, get this picked up. We're going to go and head on up to the field that had our canola in it, and we're going to get that all torn up and get it ready for some spring planting. Might even see about getting some lime on it. I'm not sure whether we need any at this stage. The other option is we could actually get Dazed or someone to put some slurry or manure or something on that as well. So there's a few different things we could do, but for now we're just going to go and get that all prepped before we look to seed it in spring. It's just a job that needs doing. We don't know what sort of seeder exactly we're going to get, whether we're going to have one that could direct drill, which would kind of make this a little bit redundant. But of course there's other benefits of course to subsoiling as well in terms of the type of weeds and all those kind of things we end up with. So you know, warning lights on there, and we'll go and see what happens. So here we are at the field. We're just going to get pulled in here. Now I might do this a little bit differently. I'll definitely start in the middle of the field. You can see we've got a lot of weeds to deal with, but I'm going to do it on a little bit of an angle, obviously different angle to where we've harvested and planted and everything like that. So I reckon if we put this down right about there, we're just going to head on across the field. Let's have a look. There we go, things are all working as they should. So if we just carry on driving, we will create a bit of an A and a B point for our GPS, and then we should be pretty happy to be able to carry on going. Let's have a look. There we go. Let's double check we've got our width set perfectly. There, those lines look just about spot on. So ideally that is going to work out pretty well. Now we are getting some rocks, which means we will have to come and sort out those at some stage too, but maybe another task to look forward to working on over winter. We might even be able to contract out getting someone come and do that for us. We will see. But this is all working out pretty good. Getting a lot of rocks actually. That is the one thing with this sort of deeper subsoiling, we do tend to pull those up and out of the field. So I think we are underway. We've started. We might just jump straight into a bit of a montage here of our work, and we'll see once we're done. Well, that is us finally done here in the field. It's taken a few in real life days. I've been in and out of the server, but we finally managed to get back in here and get it all finished off. Now there is a reason we've come back in today to get this done. We are heading back down to the farm. We're going to go pick up our trailer. We've got a load of bales, silage bales, we need to go and get sold to Dazed. He has a BGA he wants to put them into and get some digestate and everything like that all set up and running on those. So we're going to go down and get those loaded up back at our farm, and then we'll head on down. He is on the server at the moment, so we'll go and get these delivered to him, and he's agreed to pay the maximum price we can get for them through what time saving stock check recognises, which is $170 per 1,000 litres. So I think if we can put 20 bales on, 5,000 litres a pop, we will have 100,000 litres of silage, and for that we will get our what is it, $17,000. So looking forward to going and getting that from Dazed. So we'll get back down to the yard, get everything hooked up, get the trailer loaded up, and we'll get those delivered to him. Now, being a good farm manager and making sure everything's nice and clean this time before we put it away. I think I was a little bit slack last time once we'd finished doing the mowing or baling or whatever it was we were doing, and we didn't really clean anything and put it away. But there we go. That is looking much smarter, pretty spick and span, even if I do say so myself. So get this parked in around here, unlike the windrower in there, which is not looking the cleanest. But we'll make use of this shed, get this backed in and put away, and then we're going to get the trailer hooked up. We are going to use the smaller Massey, because obviously that has the front loader on it, so we can run everything around with that, and that will give us a much better option for delivering things. So we'll get this disconnected. There we go, it is off, and let's go and get this tractor put away. So there we go, we've got our 20 bales out of the shed, so we'll go through and get these loaded up onto the trailer. I'm not sure whether we could actually lift them all in one go, or two in one go. Obviously not going to be able to lift them all, but we'll give this a try with our eternal internet issues. A little bit of lag there, but let's go and see if we can get this trailer all loaded up, 20 bales to take on up to Dazed. There we go, number one. Right, let's crack into it, we'll get this loaded, and we'll get the trailer off and go and get these delivered. Well, like always, it's not the neatest job, but it'll get us from A to B. I didn't actually realise you could come up and stand next to a bale and unwrap it. That's a new learning I've had from this. I came here to strap the straps on, and the bale's unwrapped. Did it 2 or 3 times. You can see around that side too. But that is certainly, by no stretch of the imagination, my best ever effort at bale stacking, but like I said, it'll do to get us down to Dazed. So I'm just having a little bit of a conundrum now about what to do with this weight. We might have to leave it here, and hopefully we can manage unloading at the other end without the weight. I don't know, Dazed might even have some bale handling capabilities too. We should find out, but let's get this disconnected. We will head on down to his yard area, make sure he is around, and we'll go and get these unloaded. We're just coming up on Dazed's yard up here. He has a plot of land just in here on the left, so normally we'd go right at the roundabout there and head on up to the store, but you can just see there his name is as he's popping up, and he's got himself a BGA. This is a pretty big bit of kit, pretty big and impressive operation. So we'll go and find our way in. I think he said there he is standing at the door. He said to unload them on the roadside of the yard, so we'll see if we can get in here and go and figure out where to go and put them. Now, this is actually a mod that Dazed is working on as well, BGA mod here. So he's built all of this and is using it on the server here. It's just a little bit of a test, a bit of a play test, as well as developing it further. So I think we'll head in this way and go and see if we can find our way around where we need to be. I don't want to have anything much bigger than what we've got here, because this is a pretty tight little drive in here around this. And we'll keep on coming in. See if we can figure out where we need to be to unload. So there's trucks and everything he has set up here for the slurry. In fact, there's not much space to unload things at all. Let's go and see if this is where he wants us or not. Alright, well, he's got himself his own wheel loader actually, so he can come and do the work for us. So it's going to get things unstrapped, and hopefully that's going to be a bit more manoeuvrable and means we could have actually brought our bigger tractor up. Let's get these unstrapped. Alright, he looks like he's much better set up with that. Now that we've got everything unstrapped, he looks like he's going to be much better set up and much more manoeuvrable to be able to get things unloaded. So we'll see how he goes and how his loading skills are here. Look at that. Is he going to be able to grab 4 at once? Or is he just going for the 2? No, not quite able to. Going to grab ones out of the middle first. See if you can have any luck with those. There we go. Looking at the back wheels on the loader there, that is at about its limit. And of course, Farm Sim would drop one of the bales, wouldn't it? There we go. We'll leave him to sort that out and just watch him go about his work. Well, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty convinced that all of those bales were going to tip off when he had them all off on one side and not on the other. But he's done fantastically well. There's some impressive bale handling going on right there. Not to mention, I made it pretty hard by parking here. We probably could have pulled further up in front of his trucks and he could have unloaded there, but it is what it is. Get these last couple off the back. And then we're sorted. Happy days. So we will send Dazed an invoice for that $17,000 for those 100,000 litres of 100,000 litres of silage, and that was the rate we agreed, $170 per 1,000 litres. But yeah, not a bad setup. I'm not going to show you too much of the mod, not too much of the BGA. It's pretty cool though. He's done a pretty impressive job. If you've seen what he did with the potato pack, you'll be suitably impressed with this one as well. That's us done. So we're going to head back to the farm, but I think after watching all of that hard work and with Dazed here, that is a good place to wrap things up for this episode. We will be back again. Not sure what we're going to have to do for the next couple of months. December, January, it might be a little bit quiet, but we might get some more silage sold. We might get some animals bought. We might have a chat to Sheep about buying some of his cows and getting them moved down to our yard. So a few more things to do before we get back into spring and get started with spring work again and move into year number 2 here on the Oaks. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.